How much of a perfectionist was Michael Jackson?
How much of a perfectionist was Michael Jackson? Michael was the ultimate perfectionist. And in fact, I learned so much from him because of that. Michael knew the dance steps, obviously his singing, but he knew the background singers, what they should be doing, when the lights should be coming on, the costumes. Like he knew everybody else's jobs. And there's video, you can watch it. When Michael's performing live, and sometimes like the music is not quite right, he'll be performing, but he'll just point to the music director. It's like, okay, like you better fix it because it's not sounding right. Something is off. Either it's too slow, it's too fast, the music is on the wrong pitch, or whatever the situation is, he's on it. And so he was very much a perfectionist. And I learned a lot from him because he doesn't quit until it's perfect. He doesn't quit rehearsals until it's right. He keeps going and going and going. And that's something that I picked up from him a lot of is you know, we would do like back when we were choreographing together as a team, and we would choreograph something, and we thought it was the most amazingly hot thing. Okay, we're gonna showcase this to Michael, and we do it, and it's like, is that the best that it can be? And like, you begin to doubt yourself. Like, could it be better? Like, maybe, yeah. So we go back to the lab and start working on some more dance steps. So that was a question that I have in my mind from time to time. Is this the best that it can be? Whether it's the writing of a script, how the scene is done when I'm directing it or staging it, is this the best that it can be? And sometimes the answer is, it's the best that it needs to be right now, because we don't have a lot of time to make it perfect. Like, not everyone is given David Fincher time and David Fincher money to do 100 takes, 99 takes. He did 99 takes for the opening of the Social Network, which is insane. 99 takes of that opening scene where they're in the bar, back and forth, and he's talking about the genius level of people who live in China, and it's like, okay, I get the point of like getting it right, but then there's another level of that. And the jobs that I've worked on as a director, like I'm shooting feature films in 12 days. Like I don't have the ability to do more than maybe 3 or 4 takes tops. And so, yeah, I can't. There's a give and take, to being a perfectionist in this world of directing when you have a limited budget and a limited amount of time. If you have a limited time and budget, then yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. But I don't have that luxury on the projects that I've worked on.
From the other names that you've worked with, because you've worked with similar great talent, how much do you see perfectionism in them?
Yeah.
And is this a trait that you either develop once you're there, or that's what got them there?
Yeah, I would say the trait of perfectionism is what gets them there. The ability to and the attempt to work hard is what gets them there. But again, they're all looking at Michael, and that's why a lot of these people, the Ushers that I worked with, the Beyoncés that I've worked with, and other people, the Britney Spears that I work with, they surround themselves with people that have worked with Michael because they want some of that magic, and they know that they're going to be pushed. So Beyonce is known for having that trait now, but she got that because she's worked with people that has worked with Michael Jackson. She did have it within her, and also her father, Matthew, like he pushed those girls, like when they were, Destiny's Child, when it was like, the original 4 girls, like he would make them run around the track singing like full vocals. Like he put that in them. But for Beyonce to hire people that have been around the best, she knows what she's doing. And she's able to glean from that and now apply within herself. So that's why she's one of the most amazing, and talented performers out there, because of that.
What do you see as the downside to being a perfectionist?
The downside of being perfectionist is, your interpersonal relationships. I think also you could push people too hard, because I think there's a limit. There's a point when you have this level of diminishing returns. Doing it again is not going to make it that much better. So I think when people are at that point, when they're only doing it over and over and over again, they don't necessarily look at the fact that, okay, this is the best it's going to be, either for this performance or today's rehearsal. Sometimes they don't know when to quit. So it's like this blessing and this curse. It's a blessing in the fact that they're getting the steps as best as they can be, but at a certain point, it's like, okay, it's not going to get much better than this. And sometimes people don't know when to stop.
What did Michael Jackson teach you about being an artist?
Wow, that's a great question. What did Michael Jackson teach me about being an artist? I think kind of we're on the line of a perfectionist is to not settle and to ask, is it good enough? And I think that's something that I like to do with everything that I work on. But I have the other piece to it, understanding that at a certain point, you can keep rewriting that script over and over again. But at a certain point, you got to get the script out there for people to see it. Otherwise, it will never get made. So I constantly ask myself, is it good enough? But I understand that at a certain point, it is good enough. It may not be perfect, but it's good enough. And, I need to get this thing made, or I need to get this thing shot. So, for me, the big thing that I learned from him is just a question: is it good enough?
Did the same rules apply to dancing? Did he teach you the same about dancing? It's the same.
Yeah.
Same thing?
In regards to dancing, it's the same rule. Can it be better? Is a constant question that I ask myself, which is why when I learned the dance steps, I had to do them with full energy. As a dancer, we call that dancing full out. I couldn't dance things with half energy because of the fact that I will never know if it's good enough. So how do I know? Unless I'm actually giving it my all. And then when you kind of start from this level here, even just this much of an increase is head over heels better than a lot of other dancers. And so that's why I worked so much, was because of the fact that having that early experience of working with him and seeing how he worked, I was able to push myself to get to heights other dancers couldn't get to. They can maybe spin more than me. They can probably jump higher than me, but you can't outperform me. And that's one thing that I was never going to be, outperformed by another dancer.
Did you tell yourself that early on?
Yeah, I told myself that early on, is because some people are actually born flexible. Some people are born with the ability to put their leg next to their head, so when they kick, it goes amazingly. I wasn't born with that. Like, I was very, very tight when I first started dancing. And even though I was able to get my leg here, I couldn't get it back here. And so, what do you do in that case? You just give up and like, oh, I can't dance like this person. I can't get my leg that high. I can't spin this many times. It's like, no. What other assets can I bring to the table that this person possibly can't bring? Well, I'm going to be a hell of a performer. So when I dance, when we're dancing next to each other, you're going to watch me. And that's something that I brought to the table. And I bring that same kind of mindset to writing and to directing. And that's something that I also heard this from Will Smith, where he talks about there's other actors that are more talented than him, better looking than him. He says, but you will not outwork me. And that's the mindset that I have now, which kind of comes from, it's like the cousin to what I just mentioned earlier. It's the same thing. I will not be outworked. So when I write, I write 15 pages a day. When I'm working on a script, that after I've outlined it, I do 15 pages, no matter how long it takes. If it takes me 12 hours, 15 hours, 8 hours, I will not be outworked. I get my 15 pages in. That means that in a week, I can finish a full script for a 1-hour TV show. In 2 weeks, I can finish my first draft of my feature film. So once it's outlined, 2 weeks, my feature film is done. My first draft is done.
Has anyone said, Courtney, just why don't you take a break for a week? Slow down a little?
Yeah, have they asked me to slow down from what?
In any respect, like, I see you working so hard. Why not just take a break?
Oh, well, just because I work hard doesn't mean that I don't take breaks. I do take breaks. I believe in taking breaks. But when I'm working, I'm working. So one thing I don't do is I don't constantly work. I believe you have to buy out the time to take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your sanity. So I'm not working all the way through at all. I don't believe in that at all. But, okay, so let me give an example. So if you're the network and you hire me to write a script and we have a deadline, I'm going to get that script done earlier than that deadline because I want to get it done. I want to put it away like for a day or two, come back to it, take a look at it, then begin my rewrites on it, and then send it in for my notes and the whole shebang. But once I'm done with that project, I'm done. Like I don't keep playing with it. I don't mess with it. I may have other ideas that I want to do for other projects that I want to write, but it doesn't dominate my life. Like, I believe in working hard and putting that time in for that, but then I believe in putting it away and then going to spend time with family or friends or doing other things.
If that first job had never happened with Michael Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
do you think you'd still have been a professional dancer and be where you are now?
Yeah, that's a very good question. If the first job for Michael had never happened, the answer to whether or not I would still be a professional dancer is yes. Because at that point, I was still a very good dancer. It just means that I would not have gotten that job. Now, even if I didn't get to remember the time, I would still be working with Michael at some point. Because, and I really believe in this, talent can't be denied. Like, you can't not deny talent. You may not always get the job. You may be the most talented actor, actress. You may not get that particular job, but you're good. There'll be another job that will come around that will allow you to showcase your skill set. So yeah, I still would have been a dancer. I still would have been successful as a dancer. I would have still become a choreographer. I just would not have done Remember the Time. I wouldn't have that story to share, but I would have done something else.
Was there something that a mentor told you early on that you really just, that was your mantra? You never forgot it and it drove you in everything you did?
Good question. Did I have a mentor that told me something that drove me?
I know you said you had a dance teacher that was similar to the Debbie Allen character in Fame, who really kind of like expected the best from you and that helped you.
Yeah. I did have a mentor that was a dance teacher. She never told me anything that necessarily was like profound that allowed me to like just hone in on that and live my life according to that. I think a lot of what I did was I pushed myself, and then she helped to validate what I was doing. So it wasn't that she said one particular thing. She taught me just a way to live and a way to think in regards to my dancing. Just again, pushing myself beyond my boundaries. Like, I came in with this mindset of like, I was only a hip hop dancer and I can only do maybe a little bit of jazz. But she pushed me to believe that, no, you can do more than that. You can do ballet, you can do modern, you can do other things. So if anything, she's the one who kind of opened my head to the fact that there are other styles of dance that I can learn, that I can apply, and I can use this as a skill set when I do go out to audition. I can be a lot more well-rounded. So she helped to change that mindset. But it wasn't one thing that she said. It was just how she really pushed me to go after my greatest potential in regards to what I could bring to the dance world.